So Donald Trump tweeted out a video in which he called the COVID relief bill a disgrace. So let's watch it, and then we'll get into it on the other side.
Throughout the summer, Democrats cruelly blocked COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID Relief Bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment, $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan, $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 billion for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries, $3 million in poultry production technology, $2 million to research the impact of down trees, $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I am also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
That's a great way for Donald Trump to end his little speech. I'm going to be the president still. Like, oh really? You're the one who this package, this relief package, who Americans' lives and their happiness and just even like some semblance of stability, you're what this all depends on, and you think you're going to be the president after you just lost the election? Cool, Donald. Great, man. Great that we have to, work through you. It's really funny that, he wanted these $2,000 stimulus checks because Nancy Pelosi's been sitting there for months going like, we need bigger checks, we need bigger checks. And so she tweets, Republicans repeatedly refused to say what amount the president wanted for direct checks. At last, the president has agreed to $2,000. Democrats are ready to bring this to the floor this week by unanimous consent. Let's do it. Nancy Pelosi's like, what, Donald? You're gonna tell me about how the liberal Democrats are trying to use the COVID package to spread their, what did he call it in the beginning of the speech? Their liberal ways. Let's just go with. She wanted bigger stimulus checks, man. She's all about it. Doesn't sound like a liberal takeover. Sounds like you're lining up with Nancy Pelosi, Donald. Like, good job. Good job. You're finally coming around. Now, what he was talking about with the foreign spending, just insane. Because the COVID relief bill has nothing to do with the defense bill. It's just a rider. It means it's going to all happen at the same time. Donald Trump, man, it's not looking good for you when you're confused about the relief package and the defense bill and how those two things are separate. And you're the guy. Oh, you clown. And finally, what I'll say about this is that Donald Trump is he's playing a very risky game here because he's trying to come across, in the final weeks of his administration, he's trying to come across as the defender of the American people, right? He wants to be the one who got them even more, when he actually might be doing more damage than, if he were to just shut up and sign the bill. Because if this falls apart, because we do have Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer agreed to meet in the Senate so that if Donald Trump does not sign this, they can override his veto with a vote. So they had that all set up for the next week. So hopefully Donald Trump, if he just sticks to his guns here and he's like, look, I don't want to, I want the $2,000 check and I'm not going to sign this, then Schumer and McConnell can override that veto in the Senate. But if they don't, then Donald Trump really screwed things up. And he's leaving it to Joe Biden. And no, Donald, you're not president, man. Like, isn't that, again, you're a lunatic. You think that you're the president after you just lost, and you're the guy we all have to depend on for our economy.